All right, my dog's eating in the back. My daughter's on the phone. Stuff's going on in life. In the previous video that I did last on the iPad, I talked about my settings for a default to use Koala and be able to record straight in. And boy, she's getting loud. And I did mention that you could use this here. Well, the truth is you can't use it on these tracks up here at the top. I'm going to remove that. In this particular setting, it's more for mixing. However, you can either use each instrument on the first track. So if I wanted to record a bass in, I can put that on there, press the headphone, arm a track, and you'll see that it recorded the high fretless. So this setup is more for mixing. However, I'm going to show you one more thing you can do. You can set up instrument tracks. Excuse me. So we can't use mix bus A, but we can use mix bus B or whatever choice you want. And then you can set mix bus B up here. And now it will send anything that comes through these channels. For instance, we'll just use that. And let me pick another just random instrument. And let's say you want a MIDI channel. Okay. And on the MIDI channel, we'll put tonality. And tonality will control, not swamp. Hold on. Yeah, tonality will control the keys here. So we'll just pick Henny's keys. We'll pick random chord set in there. And because you have the headphone on, now you have a recorder. So you can record any instrument directly in through the first channel, and then having these other channels set up this way, you still can mix. So as you can see here, you have to assign what's going to be where. So if that's the bass is on 6, then when I go in here, just assuming this would be the bass, right? The mix, you're going to use this one and set it to 6. Okay. Now, what's unique in Koala, since we're on this topic, too, is Koala has the mixer, if you don't already have it. So if you go into your mixer, you have 4 channels plus the main. What you could do is set your drums on those 4 channels if you wanted to. There could be a mixer here. Now, you wouldn't be able to use all the extra things that you can use in AUM, but what that would do is it would allow you to put your drums on the first track and then open up maybe these 3 other tracks here, like the snare, hats, and perks, could be used for different channels. In other words, what I'm saying is you would be mixing your 4 drum parts inside of Koala and then doing the rest out here in AUM. Because if you can see, I'll click on this one, for instance. Under the mixer tab, you have A, B, C, D, and then you have the main, which is the first channel, the kick. Well, it says kick on mine, but you see what I'm saying. And then you have the rest of the outs. So you're gaining a couple extra bus channels that you could use inside of Koala, which will give you even more mixing capabilities depending on what you're doing. Yeah, so there you go. So I think in the previous one I did say you could mix You could put an instrument here. That is not the case. It has to go on the first channel. So I just wanted to clarify that. But you can always set up instrument channels and then have them bust into the into Koala and then record each part in. Either way, this is still, in my opinion, the best way. My dog's just walking around tapping her toes, I guess. The best way to do your mixing right here is in AUM. And again, send the master out either here by recording that out, or if you want individual parts, you can just press record arm on each track and then record them out. If you want to make a perfect loop, you click up here, the three dots, and set the sync quantization to however many bars. I think this thing only goes to 64. So the most you could do is 64. So if you don't need the sync, if you're not worried about like a perfect loop going out, then just record it all the way out as far as you need it, right? And disregard this last track. It's just my microphone. So really good setup. Great way to have default instruments set up. I'm gonna remove these. And again, you can just hit here, hit duplicate, and now you have, or duplicate rather, and now you have 3 instruments. Let's say I'm the kind of person where I need 4. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate one more. Now I have 4 set up. And I can go ahead and save. What you wanna do is save it as the default. That's definitely not how you spell it. Default. Okay. Save the session. Override. So now when you close it out or reopen it, you'll have this as your default. So you're just setting up a template, kind of like you would do in a DAW. Same vibe, right? And then if you even want to put all your, instruments actually on, or maybe use a certain thing for your bass, you can do that. So like for instance, myself, I tend to use, on iOS, my favorite is iFretless. You guys have seen me use it. So I probably would save that because I'll use it 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna use that, right? Another one that I tend to use a lot when it comes to piano or like sounds, sorry, is Neo Soul Keys and Pure Piano. So I might have Pure Piano set up. I might put in, I do have Pure Synth. I just don't have it on this one for space purposes. I might put that one on one. And then I usually use some type of lead. So maybe like a horn, or you could use the Baby Audio one, or whichever one you want. But either way, there you go. And then again, hit save to default, override. Now the next time I open it, this will all be there. So let's just do it together. You're gonna not hear me for a minute when the mic cuts off. There we go. And so now you can see my instruments are here, present and ready to go. Yeah, so pretty easy. Just make sure with Koala that this is definitely, just make sure you save Koala, right? Let's do this one more time. Default. All right, cool. Just make sure you save Koala on its own, or you'll lose the file. It does not connect with the saving in AUM. It's 2 different things. Okay. So otherwise, everything else is the same. It would be cool if you could throw the instrument up top. The only way to do that would be set multiple koalas and not use the multi-out. So you would have to literally put multiple instances of koala, and then you could do it. They would not be, um, you would not be saving under the same file. So that's something to think about if you decide to go that route to do it. Just know that you would have to put your base on a separate koala. Your everything will be separate. And if you don't mind that, then it'll work great. But if you want to use their multi-out, then you will not be able to save it in that or use the instruments up top here. All right, that's it for this one. I just wanted to get that update in there. And until the next one, I'm out.